When I was a kid, you couldn't imagine your parents having sex. Imagine your grandparents having sex. And I think that really has changed. And I think that's what younger people probably don't understand. And I think that's really important for any education program. That desire, lust, and things just don't disappear with old age. Even at my age, nearly 80, we still have a sex life. Of course, most doctors these days aren't my own age. They're, probably 2 or 3 decades younger at least. And so they don't have personal knowledge. I'm still amazed that desire exists. My partner, we've been together for a long time. He's 23 years younger than me, and I always try to be available when he's in the mood, and sometimes we're often in the mood together. Viagra, I mean, that's one of the greatest inventions since penicillin. It really makes a lot of difference to older people in terms of their sex life, how they function. When you're in your teen or early 20s, a hard-on is a hard-on and you're ready to go. When you get to a certain age, it takes a while to get there. And so I think doctors have to understand when they talk to you about this, that, it isn't instant response. I had my prostate out recently, and most of the questions afterwards were, how's my erection? And well, 1, when you get old, it isn't always there. And 2, when you've lost a prostate, there's even less chance of it being there. So I think better understanding about a whole range of things. And I think this is why interviewing older people is really important. Suddenly you've got a resource from the sources themselves. And I think that's a very important thing, that is fed into any education program. And there are 1 or 2 doctors I have experienced in my time who you don't warm to, and so you don't feel that you can discuss things with. I've been going to the same medical practice for nearly 30 years. It's in the centre of the gay area. There's lots of trans persons, sex workers and things like that. So the medical practitioners there are, I would say, utterly empathetic with the sort of environment. My worst experience, and this is decades ago, I was in London and I had an infected throat. The doctor, he said, oh, you've got a bad throat, what's wrong? And I said, well, I sucked a man's cock. And the look on his face, I mean, disgust, horror. He couldn't wait to get me out of the surgery. I've actually found back in Sydney, you'll shop around a little, and once you find a medical practice which is on your level and on your wavelength, that's all you really need to find. Look, I think they've got to be knowledgeable and empathetic and culturally sensitive. I think that's all, and that is very much a function of education. A gay man's sex life is very different to a lesbian sex life or a heterosexual man's sex life. But also I think other cultures, ethnic cultures, religious cultures and things like that. So I think education is the way it has to go in the future for medical people, just to deal with us. And we're ageing, the population of Australia is ageing, and we baby boomers don't tolerate idiots. They used to say that life begins at 40. Well, life begins at 60 now, so I'm in my 20s.